City divided, where the frequent disappearance of prominent West Berliners and the recent abduction of a famous scientist from the American sector resulted in mass demonstrations. This is how it was done. Clues bearing out eyewitness accounts were his spectacles, and further along the route of the kidnapper's car, one of his shoes, lost or kicked out on the way to the Soviet zone border. But this was only part of the pattern. A similar incident occurs in London. And in New York City, Dr. Andre Hallis, a prominent designer of jet planes, was picked off a sidewalk. This was followed by the disappearance of Stephen Rossi, Dr. Hallis's production expert, where our story begins.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Welcome to England. We hope you have a very pleasant stay here. There are certain formalities to be completed. Will you follow me, please? This way.
Positive about that?
Yes, I remember distinctly. A gray hat and a dark blue coat. Because when I hung them up,
Hello? Alan speaking. Yes? All right. They've been through the hangars and buildings. There's not a sign of him.
Overseas passenger missing, sir. Got off the plane, but didn't reach immigration.
You've covered the airport?
Yes, sir. He's nowhere on the field. We're sure of that. Must have got away.
Scotland Yard, please.
Inspector Reed here. Oh, yes, Bryce. Well, why didn't they... Never mind, go on. Well, what are they running down there? An immigration control or a game of hunt the missing alien? What? Of course we'll have to find him. Well, give me particulars. No, wait a moment.
Yes, sir.
Tell Phipps to come in, please.
Yes, sir.
All right, go ahead. Name? Rossi? R-O-S-S-I. Yes? All right, Bryce, we'll take care of it. I'll be with you in a moment. Information room, please.
Information room? Yes, sir. Go ahead. Yes, sir. I've got it.
T3 and 4, F8 to 10.
Yes, sir.
M2GW, calling cars T for Tommy 3 and 4, cars F for Freddy 8 to 10. Message 8-2 begins. Converge London Airport. Examine airline vehicle London to London. Apprehend and detain fugitive alien Stephen Rossi. Height 5 feet 11 inches. Wearing dark green.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Afternoon, sir.
Hello, scotch and soda.
Yes, sir.
Is Bailey around?
I'm Bailey, sir.
I think we have a mutual friend.
Oh? Who's that, sir?
Michael Grand. When he was in the States, he told me I'd be able to contact him through you.
Mr. Graham.
Yes.
Oh, yes, sir.
You know how I can get in touch with him?
I'm afraid I don't, sir. He's not been in lately. Sorry, I can't help you, sir.
So am I. Oh, I'm afraid I only have American money.
Don't bother. Your drink's on the house.
Thanks.
Your check, sir.
Thanks again. Wait for me, will you? Pardon me, I didn't mean to disturb you.
That's all right. Come on up. What do you want?
I'm looking for a Michael Grand.
Never heard of him.
Oh,
Why'd you come here?
I was given this address.
Who gave it to you?
A bartender.
Well, I don't know him, Mr. Grand. Anything else you want?
Money.
Oh, go ring somebody else's bill.
I mean English money. I'd like to get this changed.
Why don't you change it yourself?
Just seems to be a little difficult for me.
Are you an American?
But it just happens to be difficult.
I could probably get it changed.
Swell.
Of course, it's not going to be easy. You've got to know the right people, and even then.
Yes, I understand.
Is there anything else you want?
Yes. I'd like you to get me a hat and coat this size, but a different shape and color.
What's wrong with those?
Look, I'm in a hurry, and you can get yourself a coat as a bonus.
Well, now you're being much nicer. And I like nice men.
Talking about men, you're sure you don't know Michael Grand?
I told you I didn't. You better turn around while I put my dress on.
He must have had a lift from the airport in a private car. None of the bus drivers recognized the description.
Well, it is pretty vague.
The hostess did her best, sir.
Any news from the States?
They're checking, sir. They'll radio details and a photograph as soon as they can.
Good. When the photo comes through, ask all the newspapers to run it with, have you seen this man? You know, the usual stuff. With luck, we'll make the morning editions.
Right, sir.
That's all, Bryce.
Yes, sir.
What's the matter? Come down and help me.
Sorry, I didn't expect you back so soon.
There's a taxi outside, remember? Here, that's yours. You know something? I don't even know your name.
Steve.
Hi, Steve.
What is that, part of the bonus?
Just a little extra treat. I knew you wouldn't mind.
Can I have the rest of it?
It's nearly a full bottle.
I mean my money.
Oh, I forgot.
Say, this doesn't fit bad at all.
Mm-hmm.
I said you could buy yourself a coat, but I didn't mean a mink.
Are you suggesting?
Yes,
Well, it's expensive to change money that way.
not that expensive. Come on, give me the rest of it. Come on. That's better. Thanks.
What's your hurry? You haven't had your drink.
I have to go and find my old friend Grand.
You know, the funny thing about drink, even a little tiny one, what it does to your memory,
Does it?
it does to mine. For instance, I can vaguely remember something I thought I forgot.
You mean something like an address?
Could be.
What would make your mind less vague? More gin?
No, darling. Not gin. You're sweet. You know, now I remember. It was Kingston House, number 20, Kingston Road. What's the hurry? You can go there later.
Sorry, I have a lot of elder bells to ring today.
Taxi. Where to, Governor?
18 Kingston Road. I take the short way.
Okay, boss.
Keep the change.
Thanks, boss. Short way always pays best, I say.
Michael Grand's apartment?
Yes. I was just leaving. Do come in. Was Mr. Grand expecting you?
Sort of. We didn't have a definite appointment. Are you his...
I'm Joan Miller.
Oh, his secretary.
Yes. What did you want to see Mr. Grand about?
It's a private matter.
That's all right. You may tell me.
Thanks, but I'll wait for Mr. Grand.
I don't know when he'll be back.
I'll wait.
Cigarette?
Thanks.
Have you been in England long?
No, Very nice.
You know Mr. Grand well?
Well enough.
You met him abroad?
You ask a lot of questions, Miss Miller.
That's the secretary's job, Mr. What did you say your name was?
I didn't mention it.
How can I be sure you're a friend of Mr. Grand's?
How can I be sure you're his secretary?
Well, if you don't tell me your name, I can't very well give him a message.
You don't have to. I'm staying right here until Mr. Grand gets back.
Suppose I told you he wasn't coming back.
What?
Look round for yourself. This is a furnished flat, and all there is here is the furniture. And myself. Satisfied?
Where is he?
Don't you know?
I'm asking you.
Not very politely.
All right, I'm sorry. Tell him Steve Rossi wants to talk to him.
Steve Rossi. Now you're being sensible, Mr. Rossi. Hello, this is Joan Miller. Yes, everything's under control. I have a visitor, an American. His name's Rossi. Steve Rossi. Yes, he's with me now. Yes, I'll do that. No, I can manage perfectly, thank you. Bye. He's waiting for us.
Call him back and tell him to come over here. I'm not leaving this apartment.
Why not?
Never mind why. Do as I say.
No, Mr. Rossi. You'll do as I say.
What is that for?
To stop any further argument.
You'd better be careful. You might hurt somebody.
I might easily.
I knew of a couple of fellas one time that...
Hey, go on about your friends, Mr. Rossi. What happened?
Never mind. It doesn't matter.
Are you ready? The back door, if you don't mind. You drive?
Only on the right side of the road.
Just remember, in this country, left is right. Get in, please. Straight on.
Good afternoon, Miss.
Good afternoon, Gregson.
The gentleman's to go straight in.
Right.
Good afternoon, Mr. Rossi. My name's Wilkes. Nice of you to come.
Your secretary was kind of insistent.
Yes, she's charming, isn't she? Won't you sit down?
Thanks.
Now, Mr. Rossi, what were you doing in Mr. Grand's flat this afternoon?
I think that's my business. Who are you, anyway?
If you don't mind, for the moment, I'll ask the questions. It'll make things easier for both of us. What were you doing there?
I wanted to talk to Michael Grand.
What makes you think he would want to talk to you?
He made me a business proposition.
You've met him before, then?
Yes.
What was the proposition?
Why don't you ask him?
I'm unable to reach him at the moment, unfortunately.
But I might be able to help you. What was the proposition?
He offered me a job in Europe.
A job? Doing what?
The same thing that I do in the States.
And that is?
Production designer for Alliance Aircraft Corporation.
Alliance, eh? That sounds familiar. Oh, yes. Isn't that where Dr. Hallis was working when he disappeared?
That's right.
Were you going to accept Mr. Grand's offer?
Yes, I was.
How do the Alliance people feel about that? Well, I'm afraid I can't tell you where to contact Mr. Grant at the moment, but I might in a day or two. Where are you staying in London?
I haven't found a place yet.
Let me arrange it for you.
Yes, sir.
Send Miss Miller in, please.
Yes, sir.
You might run into all kinds of trouble unless you let me handle it. Now, Jones, I'd like you to have Mr. Rossi as a guest for the night. Look after him very carefully and bring him to the gallery early tomorrow morning. Can you manage that all right?
Yes, sir, if you want me to.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. Don't I have anything to say?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Rossi. Unless you want to forget all about meeting Mr. Grand and go back to the States. I could arrange that instead.
Okay. What have I got to lose? At least she's prettier than a lot of landladies I've known.
Goodbye, Mr. Rossi.
After you.
Joe. Make copies of this picture for our daily information sheets and all the newspapers.
Very good, sir.
Straight on. This way.
Well, why not use the elevator?
It's out of order.
You ought to move to a lower floor.
The lift usually works.
Come one step closer and I'll scream.
Hmm?
I'm a small town boy. A woman's never locked me in before.
Don't let it give you any wrong ideas.
No?
I'm just making sure I can deliver you in the morning.
What, no bars on the windows?
It's a long way down.
Yeah, I remember walking up. Quite a nice place you have here. I should have known you played football. Which one is you?
Third from the left is my brother. He's in Malaya. I don't smoke his pipes either.
What do you do for relaxation?
Tear up telephone books. Are you hungry?
Yes.
Good. You surprise me. I think you're a very good cook.
I have a lot of other good qualities, too.
You must tell me about them sometime.
There's no time like the present.
Come one step closer and I'll scream.
Okay, you win. Oh, this couch feels good.
Don't get too comfortable. You're sleeping in the bedroom. I'm sleeping on that.
Over my dead body.
That's what it will be if there's any sleepwalking. Remember, I'll be between you and the door.
I thought you were beginning to trust me.
I do, as long as my eyes are on you.
And lovely eyes they are, too. You know, you remind me of a girl I once knew in Peoria. A lady wrestler.
You must tell me about her sometime.
Maybe I will.
After you've done the dishes.
Well, sir?
It'll do.
It'll be all over the country in the morning papers. It should get results.
Perhaps. But we can't wait for the public to do our work for us. I want the search on tonight. He's got to eat and he's got to sleep. Let's not make it easy for him.
I understand, sir.
I've seen him.
Seen who?
This bloke Scotland Yard's looking for.
What are you going to do about it?
Dunno. I'll have a tea and think about it.
How's it going?
Fine. Mason coming up.
Good. I'm very hungry.
Come and get it.
Forget it, you mean?
What's wrong?
Your press notices.
Take a good picture, don't I?
While you're admiring yourself, my pop-eyed neighbor across the hall's busily phoning Scotland Yard. We've got 2 minutes. Get out of here. This way. Of course I'm sure, Inspector. I saw him go into her flat last night and he hasn't left since. No, I'm a very light sleeper. It isn't working.
Naturally. Try and get rid of him.
Oh, I'm so glad you're here. I'm the lady at the telephone. Is he dangerous? One isn't safe anywhere these days, is one?
Which floor, miss?
The 8th. The lift isn't working. You'll have to use the stairs.
Right, miss.
Do be careful. Come on.
Nice work.
You drive. I'll tell you where to go.
Okay. Where are we?
Tate Gallery.
Save good coffee here?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, Mr. Rossi.
Hello.
You're early.
The police came in for coffee, so we left them to have it alone.
You slept well, Mr. Rossi?
I slept very well.
Well, I had rather a busy night.
Contacting Grand?
No. Contacting Alliance Aircraft Corporation.
Checking up on me?
Yes.
Satisfied?
Quite. I'm afraid we shan't be very helpful in finding Mr. Grand for you. But you might help us.
Us? Who's us?
British intelligence, Mr. Rossi.
Cloak and Dagger boys.
Nothing so romantic, I'm afraid. Just routine, usually. But we are rather busy at the moment.
Doing what?
Looking for people. People like Dr. Harris who disappeared from the States. And other scientists who disappeared from different countries.
What has that got to do with me?
Oh, quite a bit. You're looking for Graham, so are we. Unfortunately, some of these men are being funneled through England by means of an underground route.
Underground route?
Our friend Grand is the man in charge.
And you don't know where he is?
We're rather handicapped because we don't know what he looks like. Silly, isn't it? Fortunately, you've come along and you do know. It is fortunate, isn't it, Joan?
Yes, sir.
So?
So, now that you know what Grand is, perhaps you won't accept his offer.
And if I don't?
Help us instead. Then your trip won't have been entirely in vain.
Yes, there's something in what you say.
You will work with us, then?
I'm afraid that wouldn't be smart. I went to a lot of trouble getting my picture in the paper so Grand would know I was here.
You succeeded. Admirably. I should think you're the most notorious man in England this morning.
So if I work alone, he'll contact me or let me contact him.
Sounds sensible. But be careful. Our man who traced him to his flat at Kingston House was found floating in the river.
Quite a man, Grand.
Quite. Good luck, Mr. Rossi.
Hey, wait a minute. Aren't you going to let her go with me?
But I thought you said you wanted.
That's what I said. But I don't know London, and she does. And maybe I'd like someone to hide behind.
You feel like being hidden behind, Joan?
Not particularly, sir.
I expect you'll get used to it.
Well, looks like you're stuck with me. Come on. Okay. You go and find out what the porter has to say.
And you better come with me.
A woman can always find out more from a man than another man can.
All right, I won't be long. And you better keep that classic profile away from the windows.
All right. I'm coming. Yes, miss?
Good morning.
Good morning.
I believe you have a flat there.
We haven't had a vacant flat since the war.
Oh, I understood that number 34, I think it was, is vacant.
34. That's Mr. Collinson's.
I thought Mr. Grand had it.
Oh, him. No, that was just a sublet. He left suddenly.
Really? Why?
I don't know. I never saw him to find out. I never saw him at all, as a matter of fact.
Do you happen to have his address?
Now, let me see. Yes, I think so. You might try Miss Brooks.
Miss Brooks?
Yes, she rented the place for Mr. Grand in the first place and has the right to sublet.
You happen to have her address?
Yes, I think so. Just a minute. Yes, here it is. Miss Irma Brooks, the Elite Secretarial Bureau, 7 Red Lion Square.
Thank you so much.
Miss Irma Brooks, this calls for a man to do the questioning. A man.
I know. A man can get more information from a woman than another woman could.
You catch on fast.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see Miss Brooks.
Yes, sir. And your name?
Stephen Miller.
One moment, please, Mr. Miller. Will you come in, please, Mr. Miller?
Thank you. Miss Brooks?
Yes? Oh, do sit down, Mr. Miller.
Thanks.
Now then, what can I do for you?
I'm looking for a Michael Grand.
Grand? Michael Grand?
I think you did some secretarial work for him.
Well, it's possible, but I don't recognize the name.
You also rented a furnished apartment for him. 34 Kingston House.
Oh, yes. I remember now.
You know where I can find him?
Yes, in America.
You're sure?
Of course I'm sure. He asked me to take care of his apartment while he was away.
And I came all the way from the States just to see him.
In that case, why not get in touch with his office? They might be able to help.
Do you know where that is?
Well, it was at number 10 Bread Street.
Number 10 Bread Street.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot.
Not at all. Goodbye, Mr. Miller.
Goodbye, Miss Brooks.
Hello? Yes. Oh, yes, I was expecting him. What? That wasn't very wise. You shouldn't have done that. I will now have to take care of Mr. Rossi. No, it will be all right. Goodbye.
Are you sure that's the place?
She said number 10 Bread Street.
He can't possibly have an office in there.
The kind of work he doesn't need an office.
Steve. Be careful.
Thanks. I want to talk to you.
Come to the room 2 floors up.
Right. All right, Grand. I'm here.
Go closer to the window. And stand in the light, please. That's better. I'm sorry I can't offer you a chair.
That's all right. I didn't come here to sit down.
What did you come for?
To accept your offer.
What made you change your mind?
I thought it over, and I can use the money.
What a pity you did not decide that at once.
Why? Isn't the job still open?
Oh yes, the job is still open, but not, I am afraid, to you. Your story has a slightly artificial quality.
I wouldn't say that. I came over here just to contact you.
You've attracted too much attention doing it. I am not anxious to have people who are in the public eye.
You know I can't go back to the States now.
There, Mr. Rossi, I agree with you. How many people did you tell about coming here to see me?
I haven't told anyone. You know I'm wanted by the police. And besides, I'm the only person who knows who you are.
And that, Mr. Rossi, is one person too many. Max!
Steve, are you all right?
I guess so.
Oh, Steve.
You are a woman after all.
I thought you were hurt.
Would it make any difference?
Possibly. I'm beginning to like this job.
Only the job?
I caught a glimpse of the driver.
What was he wearing?
A green hat and light coat.
It's our friend Grant, all right.
His number was RPG 5 something or other. I couldn't get the rest.
Come on. How long will it take us to get back to Miss Brooks?
Not long. Depends on the traffic. Why?
If I can walk in on her before Grant calls, she'll be mighty surprised.
So?
Surprised people sometimes say the right thing at the wrong time. It's okay, she's expecting me.
Why, you're back again, Mr. Miller.
Does that surprise you, Miss Brooks?
Well, I wasn't expecting to see you so soon.
It's a nice office Mr. Grant has.
I've never been there.
If you do go, stay on the first floor.
Oh, excuse me, please.
Surely.
Hello? No, I'm busy now. No, I can't now. I'll ring you back. Is there anything else I can do for you, Mr. Miller?
No, I don't think you can. You've been very helpful.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Miss Brooks, but Mr. Fowler has been waiting, and he's getting very impatient.
That's all right. I was just leaving.
How did you get on?
Not bad. At least I gave her something to think about.
What do we do while she's thinking?
Sit right here and wait till she comes out.
And then?
She's worried. She might want to see Grant.
He was here when you rang? Yes. I must talk to you. No, not on the phone. Well, I'm coming right away.
There she is.
Let's go.
Not yet. Let's give her a little bit of a head start.
Well, what do we do now? A woman at the hairdresser's could take a long time.
I'll go in and have a look.
You might look a little conspicuous in there. I'd better go. But don't take your eyes off that door.
With you away, you've got eyes for nothing else.
Mr. Louis is ready for you now, madam.
Thank you.
This way. Yes, madam?
I want a manicure.
I'm sorry, madam. I'm afraid there's no one free, and we'll be closing soon. If you'd like to make an appointment.
Well, I must have them done today. I'm going out tonight, and it's a very special engagement. Look, be a dear and find someone who'll stay behind for a few minutes. I'll make it worth their while.
Well, if it's so important.
Important? I'm having dinner with my boss.
My dear Miss Brooks, I put myself to considerable inconvenience to keep the appointment you made for me with our friend.
You said on the phone it was going to be all right. You take care of everything.
And I will, if we have another appointment.
But in the meantime, there's going to be trouble. He knows I'm involved. I'm worried, and I'm not going on like this.
There you are, madam. I was looking for you.
I didn't realize how late it was getting.
But your manicure...
I'm sorry, I can't keep my boss waiting. Some other time. Did you see them?
Who?
Brooks and Grand.
No one came out.
But I heard him talking to her in there.
Nobody came out since you went in.
But they must have.
They didn't come out the front way.
Look. RPG 514. That's the car that nearly ran us down in Bread Street.
That's right, let's go.
Excuse me, there's no parking here.
We're just leaving.
But you have been parked.
I'm very sorry, Constable. It won't happen again.
All right, miss. Just a minute, miss. Step out, will you, please? And you, sir, please.
Scotland Yard Special Branch. This is Inspector Hobson, K Division. Inspector Reed, please. When he comes back, tell him that Stephen Rossi, fugitive alien, has been brought in. Yes, I'm holding him here at Hammersmith. No trouble. But he was armed. All right, goodbye.
Inspector, that gun belongs to me.
Well, have you a permit?
Yes.
May I see it, please?
I haven't got it with me.
Well, I'm sorry. I shall have to hold you on a charge of harboring and assisting a fugitive. Is anyone you want informed?
Can I have a pencil and paper, please?
Certainly. Have you any proof of this?
Just ring that number and ask for Colonel Wilkes. We won't be here much longer.
I hope you're right.
No reply. I'm afraid you'll have to wait till Inspector Reed gets here.
When will that be?
Sometime this evening. He's on his way back from Liverpool. Sergeant. Sir, lock them in the detention room. And be careful. The man's a tricky customer.
Yes, sir. This way, please.
This would have to happen. I'm sure it was the car, too.
If we ever get out of here, we'll have to find the owner of those license plates.
Irma Brooks.
Sir, we found this in what was left of one of his pockets.
MG. I wonder. Just a minute.
Recognize him, sir?
No. But I know someone who may.
All orders on Stephen Rossi, fugitive alien, are cancelled. He is now being held at Hammersmith Police Station. Repeat, all orders on Stephen Rossi, fugitive alien, are cancelled. He is now being held at Hammersmith Police Station.
I'd like to help you, Colonel Wilkes, but I can't release a wanted man just to help you in some private game of your own.
Not entirely my own. You might help to clear up a case for Scotland Yard.
What case is that?
One that happened a short time ago. 2 bodies found in a burning car.
What's he got to do with it?
You're going to be upset, Inspector. But Rossi, besides being a wanted alien, is also an agent of the American FBI.
What?
Yes, I've checked it. They're also interested in Mr. Grand. Rossi was on his trail in the States, working undercover as an engineer at the Alliance Aircraft Corporation.
How do you know this?
The FBI's confirmed it. He's been after Grand over here.
Does he realize he's had police all over the country working their heads off to find him?
I think he does.
Well, why couldn't he have let the Yard know? We'd have cooperated. Why come into the country illegally and give us all this trouble?
Because the trouble meant publicity, and publicity would tell Grand quickly that he was here.
The commissioner will raise the roof.
I think he'll understand. May I have Mr. Rossi, Inspector?
Oh, very well.
Thank you.
And how about the girl? She says she works for you, too.
Does she? Then perhaps I'd better have her as well.
Shall we wrap them for you now or deliver them later?
I'll take them now. You can charge them to my account.
May I ask where you're taking them?
Certainly. Why don't you join us? We're going to the morgue.
That's Miss Brooks, all right.
Well, is it grand?
I don't know.
What do you think?
I think the Brandy car was very convenient.
You mean Grand planted some poor devil in the car just to put us off the track?
Quite possibly.
They did a good job. The body's too far gone to really make sure.
The Brooks woman was working for him. Why should he do that?
It's a pity. Miss Brooks might have given us a lead.
She has. She led us to the hairdressers. That shop may tie in with his organization.
I'll get a warrant and we'll search the place.
No, Grand may get wind of it and leave again.
You'd better let him think his trick worked.
There's nothing to stop Joan and me from going over and having a quiet look.
Do you think he's got Dr. Hallis there?
Maybe.
He'd have to break in. And that's highly irregular.
Risky, too. Unless the constable on beat happens to be looking the other way.
Double G, please.
Will you oblige me with a light, please?
Help yourself.
Thank you.
Well? I waited outside the mortuary. They finally came, and Rossi was with them.
Rossi?
Yes, and the girl. All friendly as you please.
Were they indeed?
If he's been arrested, he certainly didn't look like it.
Well, Rossi knows me. Taking him in there, it's quite possible they might guess.
Guess what?
That I'm not a corpse, after all. I think I'd better leave the country for a while.
How about me and the others?
You drive your taxi and let the others continue their normal activities. You'll get further instructions.
How about Albert?
I'm just going over to the shop to arrange for our departure. Once again, we shall be traveling companions. This time on the final stage of his journey. Good night, Max. Good night.
Any trouble?
Whiskey's no good.
Loan me your gun. Good night. Where was Miss Brooks when she was talking to Grant?
This way. I was in there. They were in here. By the time I climbed to the top to try and take a photograph of him, they'd gone.
They didn't come out the front. Let's take a look in this booth.
That back wall might lead somewhere.
Sounds like there's an opening here.
There's usually a concealed button or spring.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say they turned on the hairdryer before they disappeared?
Yes, you have switched it on.
Hold it. I don't want anything to happen to you.
That isn't the answer.
Looks like we're not getting anywhere. Just a second. Something's burning.
Seems to be coming from down there.
Here, you put that out. He got away, but at least he won't be able to use this part of the escape route anymore.
This looks like a job for the experts.
Weather and other details permitting, Albert should leave here Tuesday. Albert? Not a very original name.
I'd refer to Dr. Hallis.
If Albert is Dr. Hallis, he's still in this country. What else is there?
Sunday? That's today. We better get on the move.
Anything else?
Well, the rest was too badly damaged. Some could be patched, but it'll take time. Lights, please.
It's 3 o'clock now. We've only got 9 hours left.
Or we may have less time than that. What did your radio man say about his set?
He must have transmitted through a relay station. The range of his set was at most 3 miles.
Only 3 miles?
That's the area of its range.
Martin.
Yes, sir?
Remember Operation Net during the war? I want the same for this area, but undercover. Every alien living or working there must be checked. His habits, his friends.
Right, sir.
Reese?
Sir?
You have a description of Grand for Mr. Rossi.
Yes, sir.
Let's cover all rail, sea, and airports, being particularly careful of anyone traveling with a sick friend.
Very good, sir.
Even Mr. Grand will find it difficult to get away by air.
No difficulty getting in.
Please don't upset Inspector Reed again.
Well, I still say it was irregular.
Well, that covers all the details. Check with the alien's registration office, and then take the area street by street. Don't miss a single house or room.
So do the best you can with the description you've got. And don't forget the day boats to Boulogne. No passports needed for them.
What have we in this area?
There are 4 embassies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shipping here, the river, West India Dock, Millwall Dock.
The embassies, indeed. Any one of them would be delighted to acquire the knowledge and services of Dr. Hellas.
And each with a powerful transmitter on the premises.
You have a point there, Reed. Give me Major Andrews, the War Office. Let's see if any of those embassies have had unusual visitors lately.
I'll be in the next room. I want to see what my assistant's doing. Sleep on the job, eh? You'll never make a good detective.
You forget. You slept last night. I didn't. I had to be a watchdog.
Wasn't my idea.
Next time I'll do the cooking and get some rest.
Will there be a next time?
What's happening?
Colonel Wilkes is on the phone. Rita's listening in. Wheels are starting to turn.
Then I might as well go back to sleep again.
I wouldn't do that.
Why not?
I like you with your eyes open. They're much prettier that way.
I never knew the FBI taught its agents to speak like that.
We also learn that actions speak louder than words.
Feeling refreshed, Joe?
Yes, sir. I'm in there, sir.
In asking about strange visitors to the 4 embassies, we found that the air attaché of one of them had been making strange visits himself.
Where to?
A cheap seaman's hotel down in the city, quite near the river. Perhaps you'd better go and take a look.
Okay.
But there are certain precautions we should take.
I think I know what you mean, Colonel. Will you come with me, please, Mr. Rossi?
Right. Well, how do I look?
Fine. I can almost smell the sea air.
You mean the mothballs?
Now, Joan, you caught a glimpse of Graham when he tried to run over you.
Yes, sir.
We're going to send you down in one of our radio-equipped taxis. I'd suggest taking Joan along to work with the man in the cab. She might come in useful.
Right.
Finding Grand is important, but we must also know his way out. Try and keep us informed of your every move. Use this chalk to mark your way as you go. We'll do our best to keep track of you.
Fine.
Ground and anchor's round the corner, halfway down on the other side of the street.
Thanks. I'll take a look.
Be careful, Steve. Notify Colonel Wilkes that contact has been made and give the direction he's taking.
He's very close to Fenchurch Street Station.
Quite possible that he takes a train to the next point in his escape route.
There's another mark, miss.
Report our position to Colonel Wilkes.
Right.
Stop a minute.
Okay, miss.
He's never been as far as this before without leaving a mark.
Should we go back?
No, keep going ahead slowly. Report to Colonel Wilkes. We've lost him.
Right.
Looking for me, Mr. Rossi? You seem anxious to take a trip. Perhaps I'd better oblige. Turn around. Start walking.
Report gunshots in the vicinity of London Bridge.
Right, miss.
Miss Miller just reported gunshots in the vicinity of London Bridge.
We'd better get down there.
Have a car brought round for us.
Yes, sir.
Are you all right?
Yes. He supplied an elevator this time.
Where's Dr. Hallis?
He's probably aboard that ship.
I'll get customs to search her right away.
Well, one escape route is closed, and it looks as if we still have Dr. Hallis. Ah, Joe. Just in time to hear me thank Mr. Rossi. We're very grateful for your help.
Thanks.
Joan, I leave him in your care.
Yes, sir.
Well, who does the cooking this time?
I expect it's my turn. Steve,
Yes?
you missed one of your chalk marks. I thought I'd lost you.
Not a chance, baby.